The right people can make all the difference. Hey everyone, my name is Sean Howard and welcome to Perspective-Based Recovery, where I show you some tips and tricks that help me get sober and stay sober. Today, we're discussing how friends and family or even a rehab facility can give you a stable support system and accountability, and how choosing your friend group with care can benefit your recovery. Having a support system in recovery can be the difference between relapse and continued sobriety. But on the flip side, being surrounded by people who encourage you to use or don't support your recovery can be the reason you stay in active addiction. In my experience, I've seen the power of both situations. My first tries at getting sober were short-lived and fleeting, mainly due to my own unreadiness, but also because of who I chose to spend my time with. My favorite place to drink was the bar, where I could meet new people, listen to music, and play games over drinks. I was addicted to the atmosphere almost as much as the alcohol. I grew up in my dad's bar and always felt comfortable inside one. I knew how to navigate, I knew jokes and how to banter, and I was a decent pool player. But the attraction to the atmosphere was so strong that I would almost always go after work to celebrate a paycheck or a day off, and no one knew me enough to care to stop me. An embarrassing blessing was my ability to get kicked out of the bar and banned. I had this uncanny ability to make everyone I talked to either so angry or so sad that the bar kicked me and banned me for bringing bad vibes. And of course, my intolerable drunkenness. I was never a fighter, but boy was I a talker. And that led me into entering a variety of toxic relationships, ones that leaned hard on alcohol and drugs to survive. I cared for these friends because we really got to know each other. With no inhibitions, we would share details of our lives and things we would never normally share. I clung to these friends with desperation because it was an outlet for me to speak my mind, but it was also enabling myself with permission to continue destroying my health. When I finally got to the point where sobriety really began to seem like a path I could follow, I quickly realized how many of these people were not friends. They were reflections of the worst parts in myself. We were all using each other for the same reasons, to release our inner thoughts and continue getting wasted while not being totally alone. I had to sever all these friendships and focus on myself, which was terribly hard at first. I felt like I had no one left to talk to in a way that felt authentic, like all I would ever have was small talk for the rest of my days. But as I continued on my recovery path, people started coming into my life that I found I could talk to openly. There is a saying I like very much. You do not have to earn my respect. I give that freely and respect everyone. You have to earn my trust. Along the path of recovery, I found more and more people I actually wanted to spend time with, who supported me and knew that I was sober. These friendships had real, tangible connection this time around. No more drinking buddies. I stayed in touch with a friend from rehab named Michael Markser. He was an artist and suffered with Lyme disease, using drinking to ease the symptoms. When we met, I was a freshly sober, anxiety-ridden mess, and he was shaky and could hardly form a sentence. When we met again in person 2 years later, I was on stage with a band again, and he was walking straight without a single shake. We helped each other for years by calling on the phone to check in on one another and by sharing our art and music. He and I stayed in weekly contact until his tragic death in 2020. Mike was one of the first on my path to recovery that actually wanted what was best for me, who enjoyed my company without the need for a drink, and helped me remain accountable, and I for him. Along with him and my close family, sobriety really began to stick. I had a good support system. While some friendships can be salvaged after addiction, some may remain a danger to your sobriety. And maybe you're currently surrounded by people who only use or drink right now. In these situations, you have to decide what is more important for you, your health and your life, or the people who want you to stay the same as you are in active addiction. I promise you that a real friend will want what is best for you. They will support your sobriety, and an easy way to find these real friends is by getting sober. You will also meet new friends along the way. A few direct lessons you can use are choosing supportive people, those who want you to continue being sober, setting boundaries with toxic relationships. If they don't support you getting sober, they are not your friend. Lean on those who offer support when you are feeling weak. These friends wouldn't say you can talk to them if they didn't mean it. Don't be afraid to reach out. You are not a burden to those who care about you. If you do not have friends like this yet, there are many hotlines you can call, or maybe seek out a meeting in your area where you can release your inner thoughts without needing to use to dull life's sharp edges. There is a quote from Abraham Piper I use quite frequently when I'm giving advice on staying sober. You cannot solve your problems simply by thinking about them. You can only place yourself on the path of solutions and wait. When you give life the opportunity to be better, it will often reward you with better opportunities. Thanks for watching this episode of my perspective-based recovery series. If you enjoyed it, then please check out the rest of the videos as I release them. And remember, you don't have to do this alone.